You know, you can't be human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be more than human.
All right. So
Yes,
we're going to
sir.
go ahead and get into wrap up some of these topics. But
Talk your
next
ish.
topic, Mutulu Shakur is set to be released from prison after 36 years of incarceration. And it's due to his declining health and that he's no longer a threat to FBI. And that's pretty sad, the fact that he's only going to be released because of his declining health. And they made known that's the only reason why he's being released. I guess we're supposed to be happy because he's being released.
I'm happy for his freedom. It's way too late. You know, I don't know everything about Mr. Shakur and everything he's been through. I've only known what, you know, they've allowed us to read through the public throughout life. You know what I mean? But that just shows you what they try to do for young, powerful people. Now, another thing, he did commit allegedly some crimes, you know, bank robberies and things that got him.
Tried to say,
you know,
federal building.
Yeah, which, you know, it may needed to go anyway, but, you know, that just shows you how they truly think of us. I feel like he maybe got more time than certain people, and I feel like a lot of this, we know it was political. We know it was political, you know what I mean? Whether right or wrong, they want to silence your voice, you know what I mean? Now he's not a threat, let him out so he can be with his family, which is a great thing. But just like, you know, we hear from people, like just like you got the little dudes who get arrested, they make videos in the prison, you know what I mean? How come we ain't been able to hear nothing from him for all these years? He couldn't get messages out through his family to push things. That just tells you they probably had him so locked up in the system and lack of communication and phone where he couldn't even make power moves from the pen, you know what I mean? But now he's no threat. Go on, let him out. Now he's blind, criminal, crazy. Go on, let him out. You know what I mean? We ain't worried about you no more. Yeah. You know? It's sad, man.
They know how to play it, and they've been doing it quite some time on how to silence the black voice. Somebody that is like Mutulu Shakur that had impact. They knew that he was going to be a threat, so they had to put him behind bars, and that's why a lot of people, such as himself, refer to himself as a political prisoner. Yeah. Because his brand of politics was a threat to the status quo, and it was challenging the government and their treatment of black people being second-class citizens. People don't know Asada Shakur. It was actually Tupac's aunt. She actually fled America. She's been exiled for years. I think it's been since the 80s. Yeah. Probably 70s and 80s.
She got smart, got the woo about this month.
Yeah, she has been living in Cuba for the whole time, and obviously she won't be coming back.
Nah.
So she even said when she got shot, they tried to stick, the cops and ambulance people tried to stick their finger in her wound to kill her.
That's crazy.
It's just some of the craziest stuff that
buddy.
Our black leaders have been through. And we talked about black leaders earlier.
Yeah.
You know, our black leaders don't get an opportunity to get old.
Nah.
If they do, they die in prison.
That's it, man. And that makes me think. Shout out to the Young Panther Party out of Lansing, Michigan. I can't think of the young man's name.
Yeah,
I'm gonna reach out to that young man because I think it's great what they're trying to do. But I also want to give him some words of advice. He ain't got to take them. Right. You know what I mean? But that's just what we talking about. Is our young people being in danger. They see you making a powerful movement and finna uplift our people. They got one of the old schools out on 27 too, you know what I mean?
They're working out of Otto.
Out of Otto, you know what I mean? I'm gonna find something to do there.
Interview him, man.
Yeah, definitely. We have to. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Get his take on things.
Yeah.
Because kind of right up our alley what we're talking about, and the I say the empowerment of black people, understanding our rights as it comes to gun rights. I saw that in the paper. That's what he's teaching these young Panther Party. And it's so good to see here in Lansing to have somebody being an advocate for such a party that was strong and had a connection with black people in the 70s and became a movement. And it would be nice to see that movement happen again. Just probably some more critiques as far as the shortcomings that they had in the past, where it had a lot to do with some of them being infiltrated by the FBI, and then also the sex. I read a book talking about how it was sexist. Like some of the women were kind of like preyed on, and
of course,
things of that nature.
People still human, man. Everything can't be perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that goes kind of back what we was talking about with the Umar situation. We can all have different points of views. We can all be for the cause in different types of ways.
Right.
But let's unite some of those ways. Just because you a strict liberation activist or whatever it is, and I'm more relaxed like Steven, they not saying me, but just, we coming from different angles.
Right.
Let's find a way to intersect. You know what I mean? Put them things together. You want to call me a house Negro and I'm going to feel this and all that.
It's so extreme.
That's perpetuating what they want.
That's
Us
what they want.
against each other again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
you light skinned, you dark skinned, you medium. Who cares?
What? I hear the kids saying that now. Man. You acting light skinned.
Dog.
And I said, what does that mean? You acting soft. So now light skin means soft. Yeah. And dark skin mean hard.
So, and that's perpetuating the crimes they want you to think against your own people, dumb.
Colorization, man.
So, any brother dark skin, I got to be afraid of. Oh, he must be too rough. He must be this or that. He aggressive. You know what I mean? They got y'all so messed up, man, gone in the brain, man.
You don't hear white folks saying that about each other.
Yeah, you too red, you too pale, you milky. Pink. Yeah, I'm orange. You know what I mean? Like they ain't doing
it's
that.
It's a social construct.
Yeah.
So is being black. Black is a social construct. They use that to demean us, but we flipped it. Like James Brown said, "I'm black and I'm proud."
That's it.
And that's what the Panthers were saying. So
yeah.
I don't hear enough of our community celebrating blackness.
You got to.
What I do hear,
love yourself.
The N-word used as a terms of endearment, but in the same vein, it's a thin line between that because when I'm mad at somebody, it's that I can't stand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, that's my. You know what I mean? So,
but
it's got poison.
Yeah.
The vitriol is still in the word.
Words matter, man. I tell my kids that all the time. Words matter and how you use them. Learn your dictionary. Especially you young boys in the streets, man. Read your dictionary. Learn how to use them words. Because when you go to court, they're going to use some of that stuff to fry you. A lot of these rappers find that out when they're using their lyrics to cook their ass.
Cook that ass.
You know what I mean? Words matter. How you use them matters. But them legal situations, them same books that you could cook your ass, you can use to reverse it and get the hell up out their motherfucking way and get your freedom.
And why you keep hanging around these cats that are still doing this street activity, they're not going to get your homeboy. They want you.
Bingo.
They want the biggest fish.
Bingo.
So they're going to go after you, and then you going to get the charge they were supposed to get, you going to get, and they're going to pin it on your ass.
Yeah,
for that little Wayne in that butt, when you got caught on that bus with that gun.
Man.
It wasn't his gun, but they pinned it on him.
Chirp. And boy, they were chirping quick one day.
I'm just saying, man. Like Michael Vick with the dog fighting.
Oh, man.
It wasn't just him.
Nah, man. Cousin them got love, but they put him all on the scope, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm going to make an example out of this buck. I'm going to break this buck.
Hang him in front of everybody. Make an example. Try to persecute that man. I ain't saying what he did was right or wrong, but come on now.
Y'all got to understand, they are here to make examples out of us. And back in the day, when they made an example out of somebody, they would hang him. But they would hang him at those things they call, what you and I call, a picnic.
Yeah.
Pick a nigga.
Pick one.
Hang him. That's where the picnic came from.
Yeah.
And they used to take those pictures of these black men being hung.
Yeah.
And then they used to put them on postcards.
Yeah. And see, that's the time we're going to talk about next time. Just like we just passed the holiday season. Christmas was yesterday. I celebrate Christmas. Right. But I'm still conflicted about it. You know what I mean?
You too?
Yeah, dog.
I looked at the meaning of Christmas. Yeah. Hey, man. The 25th.
Yeah.
They don't realize it, and we're gonna get into this next week.
Yeah, next week. Trust me, we're gonna dig deeper into this because
the 25th. I don't know if that matches up with Christ's birthday, but what I do know, the 25th is actually the birthday of Nimrod, who was in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Nimrod was a king, and he was a very prideful, egotistical king, and he thought he could build a tower with his group of people that all spoke different languages, but they all spoke one language because he commanded them, and he wanted to build a tower that reached heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was so egotistical, and this happened, God made sure that there was great confusion amongst the people, and they couldn't finish the tower that he was trying to build.
Gotcha.
And Nimrod ended up dying, and before he died, he married his own mother and had a baby with her.
Oh.
And
incest.
When he died, supposedly when he died, the myth is that a tree sprung from where his ashes were, and it was a tree that looks like the Christmas tree.
Oh,
and
man.
His birthday is on the 25th.
Ah.
And every time his birthday would come around, his mom said he would come and bring gifts and put them under the tree.
Nice.
And the sun that they had represented
Check your history.
The star at the top of the tree represented the sun that Nimrod and his mom had. That's why you have the star at the top of the tree.
The shining sun.
So we're not celebrating Christ.
Yeah.
We celebrating this pagan God who was Nimrod is in the Bible.
This is why I have such an issue, even with the Christian churches, and like I came up, you know what I mean, in Baptist, all that, you know, going to church. I didn't, my grandmother and all that, but I still question, like, they use Christianity and the Bible and stuff to enslave us. We wasn't, you know, whether we as Aborigines here or in Africa or wherever we came from,
right?
Who was our higher power before they put this Bible?
He was God always, but King David was the one who came over and changed and took stuff out of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all know about the book of Enoch?
I've heard of it.
It was a book that was taken out of the Bible. And this, I mean, elaborates on a lot of other things that they don't really want us to know. There was pieces of the Bible they took out that said, going after your slave owner and killing him. They took that out of the Bible because they didn't want slaves to know about that.
Bingo.
So, what else in the Bible did they take out that we don't know about?
That's what I want to know. Your history and your knowledge about things, man.
And they changed the Bible because the Bible was written in Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
But if his name is Jesus, right, then there's no J in the Hebrew language. So was his name really Jesus?
Yeah, exactly.
It's been told that his name is Mashiach. He's still the Christ, but it's not the verbiage and the words that we've come to know that's been westernized by people such as King David and that version. They took out certain things to make sure they kept us, like you said, enslaved.
Yeah, in the dark.
In the dark about our own history.
Bingo.
And who God is.
Kill who you are, and you'll never know who you're supposed to be.
If I don't know who I am, then when I do certain things, I have no knowledge of it, so it really doesn't matter to me. I don't have a care in the world, so it is what it is. But once I come into knowledge, then I'm going to start questioning, oh, wait, that's not what I should be doing because now I know who I am.
That's it.
That's why, I question things about everything. But
man,
Chris,
you got to.
I'm going to give some credit to some big, fat, jolly white man that brought all the presents.
Man, what?
Santa.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's a game. Like how they twisted the words.
Yeah.
Because they said, if you look over in, I was just looking at, I think it was in Norway, it was a different country, how they celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
The reason why they said Santa would bring you coal is because they said Santa used to take, it would be him, and it would be these demon-looking things that they call elves, are really like these little demons, and he would bring them with him, and if a kid was bad, they would take him and rake him over with hot coals. But then if he was good, they still would take the little boys. So, and it was these little black demon things that would take them with Santa.
Yeah.
So this is what I read about, and this is what I saw. And then over in this, I think it was Norway, they celebrate Christmas with these little ugly demon-looking beings. These dudes wearing masks with this dude that looks like Santa, and he scares the shit out of them. And because that's the custom.
And they in blackface too.
They in blackface.
Yo, that was on Atlanta. That show Atlanta, they had something about that, dog.
Yeah.
Little kids was running around with all the black makeup on, and they was talking about that. That's why you got to check your history, man. I'm gonna read more into it.
You got to check your history because it makes you wonder, where did Santa Claus come from?
Coming down.
He's not an actual saint like Saint Valentine.
Yeah.
Or any of those people. Saint Nicholas
crazy.
is not an actual person who delivered gifts to people.
Yeah.
This is something that was made up. So why did they want us to be practicing these customs? Man.
They want us to practice these false gods and praise false things. You know what I mean? If this pen is a motherfucking the mighty sword, you know what I mean? They want me to praise this motherfucker and they make it give it power and because that's just the mind. Well, I'm paying attention to that.
Business, I want you to go out and spend money on gifts, so you can, even though you ain't really got
commercialized now.
I mean, it makes sense to me. This is what I'm gonna do to get people to spend money. It's just like Valentine's Day. It's supposed to celebrate, Saint Valentine. But it's not really about St. Valentine. It's about buying gifts and cards and trying to appease
your
lover and get you some. But what's so crazy about that is it was based on a festival where they called it Valentine's Day on the 14th was just based on this festival where everybody would just basically come together and have sex and have orgies and pick their partners. Man. That's where the St. Valentine festival came from, but it's not really based off the actual St. Valentine. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, they switch everything up, brother.
It's so carnal-minded and sensual and deviant from what it was actually meant for. The actual St. Valentine, who I actually use that moniker for when I do music, is based on a man who married Christian couples when he wasn't supposed to. Yeah. It was against the law to do it, and it was enacted by the law of King Claudius III.
Yeah,
and he was the one who was marrying all these Christian couples, even when he wasn't supposed to, St. Valentine, and that's why he was martyred for it, and that's why you're having these cards from your Valentine. That's where that came from. Yeah. But they don't tell you about that. They tell you about the pagan
That's a boring
festival
story.
Where it was a whore. And it's just basically everybody was whoring it up.
Hey, the 70s?
and that's what's happening now.
Yeah. But, man, before we close out, man, you got big plans for the new year? 2023, man.
Yeah, I plan on sitting back, chilling, bringing in the new year with my wife and my son.
That's a beautiful way to do it.
We'll be watching Michigan go ahead and get that dub so we can prepare for this national title.
Yeah, before the national championship launch. I'll be there, you know what I mean? 2023. Hey, I'm going to be doing...
segue into that, but... your plans? What's your plans for the year?
I'm chilling with the fam, man. We just bought a new house at the beginning of the year.
So. Oh, that's right. Congrats on that, brother.
Thank you, brother.
I gotta come check it out.
Yeah, come on through, man. Anytime. We gonna chill. My mom probably gonna come through, make the black eyed peas and cornbread, and we gonna
anybody do a
fried chicken. Nah, I mean, if they is, I might eat a little bit, but you can't cook them in my house, though.
No,
I don't really mess with too much pork, and I definitely mess with chitlins, but real lightweight. I eat a little bit, but you gonna have to cook them, and I have to know you real well because everybody can't clean them like they can't clean their own rear. So.
Hell no! I asked because God rest her soul, my aunt used to make chitlins every New Year, and I ate them like once or twice. But I'm really not a fan of chitlins, so we'll probably cook it up, man, for New Year's Eve and just kick it and hang out. I know my cousin wanted to step out for a minute, but I was like, bro, if I step out, it's gonna be mad early.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Because I ain't trying to get caught up. These cops and these drunk drivers.
Man.
I just gotta be smart.
Plus, up here we've been iced out, so drive safe, be safe. You know what I mean? Before we got out of here, we was talking about black fathers and black sons. I want to shout out my son Romy, the homie. He made me this bracelet for after he got one of his little Christmas gifts.
That's dope, man. Your son is how old?
He's 6, man.
6 years old.
And he got his own IG. Check him out. ROEMEDAHOMIE. Romy the homie. He's been putting out his content. I'm getting him started earlier. I don't push him into it, but he likes to be a character. So I told him, if you're going to be a character, you might as well make you a couple breads out of it because you're funny as hell anyway.
Might
you know what I mean? So check him out. Check me out. Fast Glass Jr. FASGLASS Jr. at Instagram and on YouTube. I'm going to be putting more stuff out. We're going to be putting this podcast, AB and BG. Talk your ish because I'm going to talk my ish.
Hey man, make sure you all share this video, subscribe to this video,
like, share, subscribe.
Like again, we're building this platform, so just come check us out. We got our subscribers at about I think it's about 1,100 right now. So keep pushing, coming, man. Just keep coming, keep sharing.